What's going on, everyone? So today we're going to be starting a new series called Qled On, and what we're going to be doing is basically showing you what does the Qled technology actually look like for some of your favorite games, because I get this question a lot, but I'm not very good at answering it, I would say, when I just answer it in the comment section. So I wanted to actually show you, because a lot of people are looking to buy these TVs for gaming, and it leads one to ask the question, is Qled actually good for video gaming? I mean, I hear it is, but what does it actually do? So today, we're going to show you how it actually performs, and the first game of choice is going to be Mortal Kombat 11. Now, I've been brushing up on my combat skills, so I should be pretty decent to show you some gameplay. Now, it's important to note that I am, again, using the Samsung Q8FN, and so you guys can see the mode I'm in the standard picture mode. I'm not in game mode. Reason being is because game mode does come with some compromises to things like motion processing and other processing effects that I do like to use that makes the video game experience more enjoyable. But rest assured, we'll also be toggling game mode on to show you the differences between that as well, to see if that's something that you guys would actually benefit from or not. Now, it's important to note that game mode obviously is where you go if you want the best input lag and things of that nature, which we'll also test in the same video. But I wanted to make sure that I show you guys at the very least what this mode looks like and what it does. So if you don't want a game in game mode, how bad is it? I can say it's pretty responsive. I don't have any real issues. Now, when you look at colors, it's absolutely beautiful. It's quantum dot technology. I think anybody with quantum dot technology will know it's going to be pretty good, right? It'll look pretty nice. You'll enjoy yourself a ton. And I think that's important, very important when you're investing all these thousands of dollars into a television to make sure that you're getting the most out of it. And it does deliver, right? And I think that's the cool thing here. Finding a television that not only delivers color and brightness, but also delivers in other key areas as well. So let's see what those other areas are. Now, personally, I really love gaming on Qled specifically, because it does so much for color. It really draws you in, and it gives you vivid color. And that's really the cool thing here.
Our alliance was only temporary.
It's a retreat from the shadows, Cetrion.
Mine is the light that burns shadows.
And you're really getting like every detail too. It's really quite cool. So as you string your combos together and as you're doing what you can do, I'm telling you right now, it's pretty impressive. You don't expect the TV to perform as well as this does, but it does. And I think that's the cool thing. Of course, there are many people that prefer a various combination of televisions to do different things, but playing Qled, it's really responsive. As you guys see, I'm hitting a great deal of combos, even though I'm in game mode. Now I want to show you guys something, because this is something that a lot of people won't tell you. Okay, so I'm not in game mode. I'm in standard mode. And if you see my custom settings for my Auto Motion Plus, which is quotation mark soap opera effect, you can see I have everything basically maxed out. I have soap opera effect on. And there's been a misconception that this is going to add input lag. You're not able to enjoy your experience. And other things like that. It's unresponsive. You can't hit combos. But here I am playing on the medium difficulty, and I'm able to do everything I would normally be able to do in game mode. While yes, it's not as responsive, it's a non-issue whatsoever. Check this out. If I want to wreck this guy, I'll be able to wreck this guy with absolutely no input lag whatsoever on my end. I don't feel like I'm operating a boat. And I think that's important to know. Out of game mode, this is a very functional TV. And I'm just able to go and do different things, you know? See, I'm getting beaten right now because I'm obviously dropping my combos. But when you don't drop your combos and you remember your combos, you'll do just fine. Though, to be fair, Noob Saibot is a pretty powerful player. And I'm getting slammed on the ground. But you guys get the idea. Even a non-pro like myself can still do a great job of beating up a character. Now, I intend to make a comeback from this. I think I can do it. Let's see. We got him. Tell me we got him. I think we got him. You think we got him, guys? I think we got him. We can make that epic clutch comeback. Check that out. Boom. Just like that. Now, I won't do anything graphic. I'll just uppercut them so they don't freak out on YouTube. And you guys can see. Absolutely glorious. These colors, everything. Just check out all of that. It comes through so well. Now, on YouTube, it probably won't. But I'm telling you, on my end, that's just like a ballet of color. You really do see every shade of red. And Satrion's crown at the top, you see a load of color wrapping around the fire, the water, the earth, rocks bouncing up. I mean, like, this is what it means to buy a high-end display. Like, you can see punchy highlights, you can see contrast and stuff like that. Now, you know, people might be asking, is it still worth it to go for the 2018 models? I would say absolutely, because check out the experience I'm able to have in 2019. I mean, it's definitely on par with all of the televisions that you're going to find right now on the market, and even surpasses it in key areas like color saturation and things like that. So you really don't have a whole lot to worry about. And that's the key thing I wanted to highlight here. Even if you were low on cash, you can still find good deals. And I think a good deal goes a lot farther than buying the latest and the greatest just because it's quotation mark future proofed. You know what I mean? So let's check this intro out.
The Shaolin's losses have left many angry. Preparations for the game, Liu Kang. I fear it won't be enough. Round one, fight.
Now let's show you some more combinations here. As you can clearly see, I'm not having any real problem inputting what I can. You know what I mean? I'm able to play my game. I'm not struggling like people would say that you would normally struggle. The only struggling is due to my lack of training in the game and not really remembering all of my combinations. But even with that, I'm still doing just fine. And I think that's the important thing. Check this out. Let's see, let's try to do like a combination here. Well, I'll just end it like that. But I mean, you guys are seeing what I'm saying, right? Like, you can see tons of combinations being pulled off, and there's like virtually no real delay. Get out of here with that. No real delay between those operations and what you're trying to do. You're able to attack. You're able to string together good moves. And it's not unplayable. And I think a lot of people have a misconception that I'm going to fix. That when you buy a TV, you have to game in game mode, otherwise there's no way you'll win, or you're just an idiot. I'm on the medium difficulty, which isn't anything crazy, but even if I was on a hard, it wouldn't be as bad as people are making it sound like. Right? And again, nothing graphic, because we don't want to piss off YouTube with their, you know, rules and regulations for this kind of stuff. But check that out. Look at that. It's absolutely beautiful. So we're looking at loads of highlights wrapping around this area here. I mean, oh my gosh, that is a ballet of color, right? And this is Qled gaming. So now we see what it's like when we do some gaming on it outside of game mode. What we're going to do now is we're going to show you guys the input lag outside of gaming mode and let you know how that actually holds up as well. So we're going to test the input lag now, and to do this I wanted to show you guys that I'm actually going to be in the standard picture mode, as you guys see, and I'm going to show you guys what it's like with and without soap opera effect. So you guys can clearly see here I have my let's go back here. I've got my soap opera effect on, and everything's basically the same as it was, obviously. So with soap opera effect on, what is motion like? Well, let's take a look. How is our input lag? Okay, so running our input lag test, you guys can clearly see that we're sitting here at 81.1 as far as our milliseconds that we're getting. So let's say we wanted to take it out of soap opera effect or auto motion plus. Okay, so we're going to go into the standard settings here, and we're going to just make sure we turn all that stuff off. Because there's a big statement being made by a lot of people saying that, hey, you know, if you use these features, they're going to slow your game down dramatically and they're unplayable. So let's see if that's the case for the Q8FN. As you guys see, when you turn it off, you're actually getting less input lag, as you see. So yeah, you do have less input lag, but it's not to the dramatic degree that you would expect. 81 to 78. You see what I mean? It's not really that big of a deal. Now let's try to max out soap opera effect to be fair about it, like some people would actually do, and just verify that we're doing everything the fair way so nobody feels like, again, we're trying to be biased in any way. Okay, so just gonna make sure we max everything out. We're gonna go into our input lag here. We're gonna test it. And there you go. Now you see it's at 75.9. So raising input lag and maxing it out, you still are in the 70s. Not quite as low as when you turn it off, as you guys see. But we're at 75.8, and that is definitely playable when you're talking about, compared to, not having it on, not having these special features on, or whatever the case may be. So let's just go back for a final time and show you with soap opera effect turned off, and show you the input lag on that. Okay. And we're at 74.9. So if you guys remember, I was at 75. So again, it teeters between 75 and 74. So now it's at 75. So about the same. You know what I mean? So when you max out soap opera effect, you're not actually getting a drastically subpar experience like they claim. It's about the same. Now, game mode is obviously the exception. If we go into game mode, and we want to, I actually have a quicker way of going into game mode. Let's just go into, I don't think I can do that, can I? There we go. We're just going to toggle game mode on. Now that we're in game mode, I'm going to show you guys. We're going to go into external device manager, game mode options, and you see game mode on and game motion plus. Maxed out, so basically we have full soap opera effect. Okay? With full soap opera effect, we're sitting here at 26.2, just call it 26.1. Let's just give it that. Alright? So about 26 milliseconds is what you're getting. Now let's disable the soap opera effect and let's see how it affects game mode. Alright, so we're going to go into game mode settings, we're going to go into game motion plus, and we're going to turn game motion plus off. Now with game motion plus off, what are we reading? Alright, so quite a bit lower at 14.5 milliseconds. So obviously there's a big difference there when you have soap opera effect on and soap opera effect off. However, if you guys remember, I was stringing high yield kind of combos together in Mortal Kombat 11, and I was doing that without game mode. So could you imagine in game mode, whether I have 14 milliseconds or 26, you can imagine that I'd still be experiencing a really, really good experience. Now, of course, for those who require much more precise and a much sharper acuity, so to speak, as far as your combos go in your responsiveness, you obviously want to make sure you're in game mode for that. But I just wanted to do this to prove to you guys that even in standard mode, it's about the same at 75 to 75. So hopefully that kind of helped in that area there.
Alright guys, so what we're going to be doing now is showing you guys game mode. So if you look here, I have game mode enabled, alright, and if you go down to general and you go to external device manager, and then you go to game mode settings, I have game mode on, I have FreeSync set to ultimate, and my picture processing is maxed out for blur reduction and judder reduction. We keep LED clear motion off because that feature just makes the screen flicker. Now, we're going to see how much more responsive it actually feels now that we're in game mode. And I can say as I'm scrolling around the character select screen, to be very real with you, it doesn't actually feel that much more responsive from where I was. And it's important to keep in mind, we're talking about milliseconds here. We're not talking about some dramatically massive change like, actual seconds or minutes. They're milliseconds, so it's really hard for human beings to detect when a millisecond change occurs. Now, And another important thing to note is when you're doing combos, either way, it's going to feel high-paced in a game like this. So we're adding all that into this factor.
Did Shinnok know what you know?
He embraced our mother's design.
Willingly, or was he compelled? Round one, fight.
All right, so we're going to try to do our combos here. And I'll tell you right now out the gate, I don't actually feel like this is more responsive. I feel like it's about the same, to be very real with you. Like, I actually kind of feel like this is a bit harder for some reason. Which, of course, makes no sense, but it feels a little less responsive than what I'm used to playing outside of game mode. I can't really explain that. There we go. That's not going to happen. Alright, I mean, as you guys can see, I'm able to pull together all the same combinations. And it's kind of like, if you can pull together all the same combinations, then do you actually have a problem gaming the way you were before? And I think that's a question for a lot of people to answer for themselves. Like, you know, some people might hear 75 milliseconds ago, there's just no way. Damn, I dropped my combo. But for me, it's not a big deal because when you get good at a game, you don't have to blame anything on input lag. You know what I mean? As you guys can clearly see, yes, I have a good input lag, but it's not like so great to the point where I can't play the game without it. You know what I mean? Oh no, get back. There we go. And we're not going to do anything graphic, we'll just uppercut him again. I mean, you guys can see it's a great experience. Colors are vivid, vibrant. You're seeing a lot here. But the idea for me is like that whole match that I was just playing, like from a person-to-person like perspective, like I don't actually feel as though that was like some crazy responsive thing. Yeah, I'm in game mode, but I didn't really feel like it was like significantly more responsive than the 74 milliseconds that I was at. Even though on paper, yes, 74 milliseconds is dramatically more responsive. In reality, it's milliseconds, so I actually don't notice it that much. Now, let's see what happens when I drop it down by turning everything off. All picture processing. Hold on, let me go back into game mode here, because I didn't mean to turn that off. We're going to just turn off our soap opera effect, and our FreeSync, we're going to even turn that off of FreeSync Ultimate. No processing whatsoever done for the motion here. And let's see if it's responsive still. You know what I mean? Let's see how it actually holds itself up. That's what I'm curious to find out. All right. Now, I can tell you out the gate, this feels more responsive. So without your picture processing, this is flying around the screen. So 14 milliseconds is a noticeable difference from the 74 milliseconds that I was at. Like, noticeably so. Like, this is flying around the screen like butter, right? Like, literally like butter. So with that being the case, let's see. I hate to do it, but I got to be Scorpion again to get an idea as to how the controls actually feel. So I'll be Scorpion and I'll fight against somebody like, let's make it cool. Let's do like, no, let's do the DLC character for those who are interested. Do Shang Tsung, and I'll do easy, very easy, just so I don't have to focus too much on fighting the match. And I'll go to, I don't know, what do you guys say? Let's go to Shang Tsung's island. All right. And the goal here is to see, like, when you're pitting these TVs up against each other and you're talking about different features and using video games to play it, how is it going to play for you? This looks absolutely incredible, by the way. All right, let's do it. Aye. It's supposed to be easy. Why are you blocking? It's weird though. Like, yes, it's more responsive. Like, it is flying around like butter, as you guys can see. But the thing here is, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm really sold on game mode being like this super duper definitive way of playing, to be very honest with you. Because I'm noticing a lot more like motion blurring, and like obviously without any kind of processing, your motion does look bad, so it's more eye straining. And I think you have to choose between those aspects. Like, I don't like eye strain, and this is something that you got to think about. Now, Mortal Kombat 11 looks absolutely incredible on this TV. I think with the quantum dots, anything with quantum dots will make it look incredible. But the Q8FN definitely does take it above and beyond, just a little bit more than the other guys. Just because, uppercut, I may be done with it. Just because it just does a lot for the contrast and all that. But I can say the match was responsive, but I would say, like, unless you're somebody that needs, like, I don't know, like, ultra low input lag, I don't really see that being the biggest benefit, to be very real with you. Like, when you're scrolling through text, it's like flying like butter. But when you're actually in the match and it's rendering, like, objects, like graphics and textures and effects, it feels a lot slower for some reason. It feels a little, like, more bogged down, if you will, than when you're in a menu that has no real effects or anything like that where you can fly around. And I think that's where it kind of gets a little tricky. But ultimately, I'll show you guys with game mode off again so you guys can see, like, even when I turn game mode off, I'm able to enjoy myself. Really, I am. And I don't have any issues. And I want to show you guys. Also, now, if I were to talk about the experience flying around the menu now, I'm not flying around the menu. It's a lot slower by comparison, quite obviously, than game mode where it was like butter. That being said, let's see if my perspective has changed on the game mode experience. Let's see. Let's see if I can actually notice a definitive difference between these two. Gotta love this game though. It's doing a lot right for the money you pay as well. For those who are wondering, it's definitely an addictive game. It's like, even though the controls are slower, it's almost like because of the game, it gives you the perfect amount of time to be able to time your attacks correctly. Now, I think for the people that this input lag would affect the most, as much as people don't want to hear me say it, I think this would probably affect PC gamers the absolute most, and people who are tournament playing for, like, online video games, and they're trying to get super mega ranked, and they need the absolute lowest. But for the casual player, somebody just doing a versus match, you're not going to notice a difference on a definitive level that it's like, oh, your gameplay is just broken without game mode on. As you guys see, look at me, I'm just cleaning house right now. I'm not having any real issues whatsoever beating Scarlet. Let's do combo string there. Oh, I poked her though. Alright. Not happening. Come on. Get out of here. Uppercut. And as you guys see, like, I had no trouble with that match. Like, at all. It was ultra responsive, really easy to pull off my combos. Like, crazy, ridiculous easy to pull off my combos. And again, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about gameplay, playing a video game. Is the Qled great for it? Yes. And Mortal Kombat 11 is just a ballet. It's really quite wonderful on this display. So I wanted to share that with you guys, just in case you were worried about that, because I know it can get a little scary when you're out and you're reading information and you're seeing that TVs maybe don't have the highest input lag, but as you guys see, it does a great job. So I really hope that by showing you guys, Mortal Kombat 11 on the Qled, you guys are able to see that it does a good job. Now, as far as the game itself is pretty fun. We've got tons of modes for those who want to see those modes. I mean, you've got loads and loads of options, AI battle, so you can, like, grind up and get gear if you want it to a certain way. It's loads of fun. Now, let's say you wanted to, for whatever reason, customize your character and get different gear and different traits and different whatever you want to do. You can customize everything about this game. Moves, whatever, and it's a load of fun. You can customize things like how they come in, like their opening victories, their opening scenes. Like, it's really cool, this game. So if you were also wondering about this game, it's definitely something I would say you should definitely pick up if you love fighters, because it's a customizable fighter where you can swap out all of your abilities. Like, come on, who wouldn't want to do that? And then every little piece of gear You can swap out, change the look of your character. It's actually really rad. So, for Mortal Kombat 11 on this particular display, I say Qled is probably one of the best places to play. And if you really enjoy Mortal Kombat 11 and you really enjoy gaming in general, this is a pretty decent pair. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section down below. If you want to see more of this video game and you want to see like gameplay and me just kind of hanging out with you guys, stop by the Quantum Realm channel and I'll definitely be just kind of hanging out and shooting the breeze with you guys. Thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.